Hey there. So, let's talk about anger. If you have a baseline sense in your life of anger and frustration, you may be surprised if you haven't really looked into it or haven't really dug deep into your psyche. You may be surprised to realize that baseline of anger is because you feel frightened. You feel like you're not getting what you need in life. And you may not be. You may not be getting what you need in life by your definition. But if you are angry, if you're quick to anger in virtually all things, and hey, I get it in traffic. People can do stuff that'll make you angry. So hey, we're not gonna go there with drivers, but I'm talking about in life. If little things that kind of frustrate or make you angry just tip you over into just the kind of anger that you feel through your whole body that literally doses you with negative energy. I mean, big time. I mean, if you're living in an angry state, your health will decline, your mental health will certainly decline, your emotional health declines, you lose a lot of your, kindness, a lot of your gentleness. You lose empathy, which is a natural thing that happens to people who feel afraid, who feel like they're, they lack what they need in their life. And this is well documented in all kinds of scenarios, from war zones to, deep poverty populations, that when there's a deep lack of basics of what they need just to survive, people can often get very angry, more willing to, do things they wouldn't otherwise do if they weren't in the pain they're in, maybe physical pain of hunger, emotional pain of just never having what you always needed. And we all need love, we all need humanity. And when that's deprived of them, people can get really angry, they can get very dangerous. It's well known. I mean, anger is an emotion like any other emotion. It's powerful, but it should be a message to you. It should tell you something. You need to listen to your anger. Maybe not act out on it externally as much as stop and identify it and think about why. Why am I so angry about this? It's disproportionate. I'm way more angry about this thing that just happened than I should be. And when that's the case, it means you have some unresolved shit that you are angry about. And believe it or not, you may be angry with yourself, because that's the most common thing that keeps an enduring anger going on inside yourself. You may be blaming someone else for that thing that makes you angry, but the buck stops here. And I'm not talking about childhood stuff, I'm talking about as an adult. You've made some decisions. You got involved with someone or got in a relationship or a business arrangement of some sort with someone that cost you your feelings, cost you love, cost you resources, cost you opportunities. And it's pretty human nature, if you don't really pay attention, to just blame those other things and be angry with them. They are the shit that did this to me. When the reality is, you need to own it. You pursued that relationship. You engaged in that business venture. You took that job. And when it didn't turn out like you had hoped, you stayed. Maybe you had to stay. Sometimes we do get stuck, especially if we've got children or family to support. Sometimes it's really hard to change jobs. So let's not go nuts here. What I'm talking about is, when you're angry, you have to bring it around and look at yourself. Stop looking at someone outside you who you have no control over what they do. You've learned from it. You won't, get involved with that person again if they don't deserve it. If you're thinking clearly, you make a decision that no, that's a boundary. I'm not giving that person another chance. Or if you ever do give them another chance, you'll be more the wiser for it. You'll pick up on things sooner. But it really does come back to you. I found the only way I stayed angry with people was when I hadn't really forgiven myself. Hadn't forgiven myself for the mistakes I made or for trusting that person. We do need to trust people. We need to take chances like that. Being vulnerable is part of being a whole, authentic human being. You can't go through this life on defense all the time. And shit's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. People are going to let you down. Life is going to fucking let you down. Nobody gets through this without pain and grief and loss and being taken advantage of. I mean, virtually the only way you could get through life without that is if you never interacted with people and if you never gave anything a chance to blossom. You never took a risk. And that's not a life worth living, So, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to bring it around to, is if you're suffering, if you're in pain, and again, I'm not talking about like clinical depression, biological stuff. I'm talking about situational pain that is within your control. If you're suffering from that, you really need to look at yourself. You need to forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made. And you have to do your very, very best to stop judging yourself on your past and realize, okay, I've learned from that. Of course, I'm not going to make that same mistake again. We hope, though. We do sometimes. But the point being, you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to give yourself a chance to breathe and to heal and to allow yourself to move on, to let it out, learn from it, and trust that because you made that mistake once doesn't make you an idiot, doesn't make you unworthy of the beautiful thing you thought you were getting into. You're still worthy. No matter how many mistakes you make, you're still worthy of another try, of another chance. You may not have that chance with those same people or those same opportunities, but that's life. More opportunities will present themselves if you can forgive yourself and move out of that place of anger and that place of just toxic frustration, like the world's fucked. I'm never going to get over. I'll never have another chance again. It's done. It's not done. I know that feeling though. Okay, so I'm not saying if you feel that way, you're a lost cause. You aren't. Anybody who's loved and lost knows that feeling. And you're not done. You're learning. You're evolving. You're becoming your higher self. And everything that's happened, even the shitty things, were meant to happen. They are helping you grow. I'm not saying they're good, but they happen for a reason. And some shouldn't have happened. Some absolutely shouldn't have happened, but they did. And so you can elect to be eternally angry about it, feel eternally trespassed against and violated, or you can learn from it and you can move into a place where you accept yourself for where you are now and for who you are now, and bless yourself with the opportunity to grow from that. Maybe even if it was a true violation of some sort, you can help others avoid that same thing. You can take your pain and you can turn it into something positive. You don't have to just suffer it. You can use it. But you can't use it until you forgive yourself for your part in that thing. Because Very few things happen absolutely unilaterally on one side. We usually have a part in it. We made a choice along the way that made us vulnerable, and we took a risk, and it hurt us. But no matter what, you have to move out of self-judgment. You have to move into forgiving yourself. Learn, move forward, have faith. You're worthy. You're not ruined. You're not freaking ruined. Your mistakes can only ruin you if you allow it, and if you don't learn from them. Use them. Use them to become that higher self, that person that you're meant to be. And it's a process. It's an evolution throughout your life. You're never going to be done. It's like learning. You're never going to be done. So embrace it. And when you are really angry and you figure out what you're angry about and you're honest about it, you'll be able to work through it. And you'll take actions that'll help you process it, forgive yourself, learn, grow, and be better. Learn better, you can be better. Yeah, that's what I got for you today. A big single take. I'm drinking coffee. Kind of Friday video. I feel you. And I know a number of people who are suffering to different degrees, and it's hard to see, it's hard to feel, but I also see them growing through it and becoming better human beings for it. Take good care of yourself.